Hello and welcome to this very special edition of Blockbuster Movie Minute. This is the very first half-hour edition of our show, and we're bringing on special guest Rob Sweet today. Welcome,
Yes.
Rob.
Thank you. So that would make it Blockbuster Movie half hour.
Yeah, it's a little longer than 1 minute. It's about 30 minutes.
All right.
So, our first two segments worked so well, Rob, that I figured we got to do a full version of
We
this.
got a crazy amount of reactions.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are like, I saw your movie thing, and I'm first go, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I go, oh yeah, that Blockbuster movie thing.
Yeah, all right. Well,
So,
Rob,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
no problem. Well, as you know, and most of the world knows, there's a big Star Wars movie coming out pretty soon, a couple weeks now.
Huge.
And Rob, I know I get a lot of slack from you from this. Not a big Star Wars fan. I have hardly seen the movies, a little bit here and there, but I'm gonna give the floor to you.
There's your problem right there. If you've hardly seen the movies, then how can you judge them? See, you being a comic book fan, you're into the sci-fi fantasy realm of things. How do you know you won't like it if you didn't sit down and actually, digest all the movies, how they're meant to be, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Even if you went the other way around, because I know you're a big CG guy, and so you young guys, you're all like, oh, that movie's old, it's got bad graphics. So fine, go watch it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll like it either way. But Star Wars, what it brings is good characterization, awesome narrative arc. It was a benchmark moment for sci-fi films and for fantasy films as well, for including those awesome elements into this fantastical world. I mean, there's a reason it resonated with so much of American society, more than American society, the global society. Why? Because it is special. It's all about, it's a human story, but it takes place in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
All right, Rob, you make very valid points. And I admit, I'd probably like it a lot better than a lot of other movie series, Like, I see all these movies in school, Citizen Kane, boring movies like that. I probably like Star Wars a lot better than that, I admit. I just really haven't gotten around to seeing them. I wouldn't like it as much as, like, Marvel Transformers. I already know that. But
it's not about what you like better. I mean, it's not about a measuring stick. People got to just look at things as, like, good or bad. Like, I'm a fan of Star Wars. It's probably my number one. But it doesn't mean I'm going to be any less excited to see Avengers Infinity Wars Part 1 or Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. I mean, at this point, I feel like we're living in a world, I've said it before on your segments, where everything I dreamed of as a kid is coming to life on the cinematic screen. So how can you complain about that? I mean, my childhood is out there. I don't have to play with action figures anymore because they're there on the screen for me to see. Okay, I still play with action figures. I'm not going to lie.
Rob, you're right. Definitely got a lot of movies to look forward to, no matter what you're a fan of. There's tons of movies coming out. Movies basically every year for all these series. Why don't you explain how important this episode 7 is?
I'll tell you why it's important, because this takes place after the last of the original trilogy, and what everybody fell in love with was that original trilogy. So everybody fell in love with those characters: Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO, and now we get to finally, 30 years later, get the continuation of that story. And also, it's out of George Lucas's hands, and it's in the hands of somebody who was a fanboy, J.J. Abrams, and that's what it needs to get back to the magic that it was in the first place.
All right, definitely a big day coming up, a lot to look forward to if you like Star Wars.
2 weeks from today that we're taping this. 2 weeks from today. I don't know when it's going to air, but 2 weeks.
2 weeks from today, all
I
right.
can't wait. I don't even care about finals.
All right, a couple months after Star Wars, another big movie people have been looking forward to for decades, Batman vs. Superman.
As I said, look at, I mean,
You already mentioned it.
I'm a huge fan. And what happened yesterday the day before they were taping this? The trailer, a new trailer came out. Unbelievable.
That was perfect timing. I mean, I was on my computer 2 a.m. I saw it on Facebook. Somebody shared it. I was like, Batman Superman new trailer come out perfect. I'm talking about this with Rob tomorrow. Like, it was perfect.
I know. I was ready to go to bed too, and I was like, oh man. And I didn't even think you were going to see it. I thought you were going to just probably be like, oh, I don't care because it's DC. Because let's face it, guys. I mean, this is the host of Blockbuster Movie Minute, but he's got a very segmented taste. And
as you could tell,
I mean, the thing is, you got to be kind of open, and you got to realize the fact that if you're a Marvel fan, you're probably going to be a DC fan too. I mean, you might like one more over the other, but who created a lot of these tropes that are in all these comic book stories? DC. It all started with Superman. It all started with Batman. And the magical thing about Batman is there's a guy that has no superpowers. He's as human as you can get, as flawed as you can get. He's got deep, dark secrets, and sometimes he goes to the point of the edge of the brink of insanity. And those are the kind of things that why people relate with him. So how can you deny? How can you not think Batman's cool?
All right.
I can understand Superman. I mean, yeah, he's the Boy Scout, but I love Superman. I think he embodies what a superhero is supposed to be, and he's a symbol of good.
All right, Rob. Well, I'm a lot more lenient with DC than I am with Star Wars. Like, I'm actually know a pretty good amount of DC stuff. Being a Marvel fan, you kind of, like you said, you kind of have to know both of them, sort of.
Yes. Yeah.
I've seen the Batmans, most of them, the newer ones at least. I went to see Man of Steel because I like the trailer. I'm a big action movie guy, and that actually had me sold in the trailer. That's why I decided to see Man of Steel.
That was a good movie.
2013. Yeah, I thought it was great. But
it had the scope of like the Avengers. Those Avengers films that have this like it's a big city-wide battle, and there's like thousands of deaths and destruction, and just this like it has that epic scale Man of Steel had, and I think this next movie is going to equal that, if not increase the scale.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to go see Batman vs Superman. I mean, I'm not excited for like Marvel movies and everything, like I said before, but I'm definitely looking forward to Batman vs Superman. Why don't you talk about the rest of the DC though? Like they're coming in, they're trying to imitate Marvel, basically bringing in new spin-offs, new characters and everything. So.
But they're kind of taking a different approach where like every movie is where like in Marvel you have your different franchises and they do tie together, but you can look at them separately. Like you could look at Ant-Man separately as just a film within itself. Every DC movie is a direct sequel to the one that's coming before. So this Batman vs Superman is a direct sequel to Man of Steel, which is going to lead right into Justice League. So it's like they all interconnect like a puzzle piece directly, rather than being this smaller portion of a bigger universe. I mean, it is part of a bigger universe, but it's bigger pieces to the puzzle.
Well, the one thing I'm looking forward to is I think they need to make a Static movie. You ever seen Static Shock, the cartoon when we were younger?
Yeah,
he's like my favorite DC character. They need to have him in a movie. Then I'd be really sold on DC.
Well, you got to think that maybe down the line they will. You know what I mean? They start getting through the bigger characters. So maybe after 2020 we got to get to that.
Yeah. All right. Well, very good start to the show, Rob. I think 2 great segments down. We'll be right back after a commercial break. Welcome back to Blockbuster Movie Minute. For this segment, we're going to bring on a special guest, my good friend, my twin, Justin Proietti. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excited to be on the show?
Oh, absolutely.
With your real family member, Rob, and
your
long lost cousin.
Yep, we're cousins.
Separated at birth. John DeMiro here, your other twin.
Yep, we're all
big happy family.
One big Italian reunion right here. It's a family reunion.
Yep.
It's a lot of Italian sausage.
That's for sure. Well, so Rob, you know all about this. With the Marvel movies now, there's basically 2 separate universes. You got the real Marvel universe, Avengers and everything. Then you got the Fox side, who still has X-Men and Fantastic Four properties. Along with X-Men, they have Deadpool, who was a mutant, so they have rights to him as well. There's a big movie coming out for Deadpool, February 12th this year. What are your thoughts on that?
Ryan Reynolds. My thoughts on it is cool because Ryan Reynolds, he played the character in X-Men Origins Wolverine. He didn't play him in the Deadpool at the end, as Deadpool in the end, because he realized that it wasn't going to be the Deadpool that he thought he was getting into, the merc with the mouth. But he still was heavily involved in the pre-production to try to get this movie off the ground, and then even when it was in developmental hell, he pushed for it. And then an online viral video of test shots that he did actually made this movie come to fruition, which is really cool that he still stayed involved. And now we finally get to see a Deadpool that's like really true to the character in the comics, and breaking the fourth wall. He's just smart aleck, and it's going to be very violent, and it's going to be rated R, a hard R rating. So that's the only way you can do it, in my opinion. You couldn't go PG-13 with Deadpool.
Yeah, it's a very, very rare rated R movie. I think Blade was probably the only other rated R Marvel movie.
Punisher, Warzone.
Punisher, yeah, you're right, Punisher as well. Mm-hmm. But it was completely different from all the other Marvel movies. You could tell, like comedy, like you said. Deadpool's such a different character. He breaks fourth wall left and right. Comedy, like you said. Definitely a lot to look forward to. But another X-Men movie this year coming out. The big Kahuna, X-Men Apocalypse. What do you think about that?
I think everybody's been waiting for Apocalypse as a villain. I think as soon as it got announced, everybody was like, well, as soon as everybody saw that scene at the end of Days of Future Past, at the end of credits, where it's like, oh my God, they are going to do Apocalypse. A lot of people are a little upset how Oscar Isaac looks in some of the shots that have leaked. They said he looks like Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie. From what I hear, you really got to see the final scene of that to really get the power of Apocalypse. It's going to be like the whole X-Men team versus him. It's supposed to be a really good action sequence. I'm giving it a chance. He's a good actor. I'm looking forward to it. I don't care if he looks... They wanted to avoid him looking like Thanos. And they don't want this whole big CGI, like, blocky guy. So instead they made him more human-esque. I mean, there's still those elements of Apocalypse in there. So I don't know. I'm all for it. I think it's going to be awesome. And apparently Hugh Jackman may have done some reshoots. So you can't do an X-Men movie without Hugh Jackman. And he might be in the Deadpool one here as well.
Yeah, like you said, Apocalypse, he's probably the most long-awaited Marvel villain that hasn't been in any movies yet. So that's definitely something to look forward to. And also for X-Men, next year, the Wolverine new sequel coming out. Hugh Jackman's last appearance as Wolverine. What do you think about that?
See, now, it makes me think, are they close to a deal with Marvel? Are they going to merge the universes or reboot them or whatever? Because you can't do Wolverine and not have Hugh Jackman be it. I mean, he's just almost 20 years of playing the character. Nobody else can do it. Like, I just don't see it. And even if somebody did good, it just wouldn't be Hugh Jackman. So I don't know. In my eyes, like, I'll definitely see the movie. I hope they do. They're supposed to do the Old Man Logan storyline, from what I hear. That might happen. So that'll be interesting to see if they do that. And Professor X will be back, Patrick Stewart. So little tie-ins to the whole rest of the series. I'm all for it, man. X-Men is the one property outside of Marvel that has done a good job. So because we know Fantastic Four, Fox dropped the ball on them. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. Also for X-Men, like you said, he had some of the same thoughts that I had. You can't do anything Wolverine without Hugh at this point. They don't have anything scheduled after that for anything X-Men, any mutants or anything. So, I mean, what are they going to do, reboot X-Men? You can't do that again. They tried that with Fantastic Four. People want to see X-Men against Avengers.
Just go for it. Like, do it. I mean, they know the money that's going to be left on the table if they don't merge it, go together. I mean, Spider-Man's proven right now the buzz that can happen if they sign the dotted line on this. So, you're Avengers versus X-Men. You're talking over $1 billion right there. So
yeah. Like you said, Fantastic Four definitely at one point is going to be with Marvel. X-Men, hopefully we'll get there someday. But we got to move on to the next segment. My favorite thing to talk about, probably at all, Transformers. This is the series for me. I mean, Avengers obviously is up there, #1 probably.
This is my life as well.
Yeah, Justin, that's why I brought you on. I wanted you to come on for the Transformers segment. I had to have you do it. Like, I was thinking about this yesterday. The 8 most influential movies in my life, 4 of them are Transformers movies. I know everybody has their opinions. I'm going to say it out right now. You're all wrong.
All 4 Transformers?
All of them, they came out at specific times in my life. They were big influences, whatever. And they each did different things. Like, everybody, I feel bad for everybody else. They don't get the experience it the same way I do. Like, I feel sorry for everybody else. Like, they clearly don't know what they're looking for. Like,
it's how I feel with Star Wars and you, but yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, you got me there. But people argue that there's too much action, there's too much this, there's too much this. What do you expect? Giant alien robots coming in.
Well, I think
they're going to be explosions. They're going to be action. They're not going to sit down and have a tea party and discuss
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay comes in. They didn't hire him to have a freaking Optimus against Megatron tea party.
Well, I think
he brought him in to beat each other's heads up, basically.
Yeah, well,
so as you can see, I'm very passionate about Transformers. So.
Well, I am too. I'm big.
Yeah,
major.
That's why I brought you on.
Oh my God, freaking! But I think it's because people are so used to the older versions of it. I mean, they did bring in the same. I don't remember his name, but the guy who plays Optimus is still
Peter
the actual.
Cullen.
Still Optimus.
Yeah.
But like you said, people think that it's not. It's going to follow more towards the lines of the 70s. Was it the 70s that they did? 80s.
It was 80s.
Sorry,
following lines of those. I mean, they kind of are with Galvatron and the Creator or whatever, but I mean, I feel like they want it to be so, along the lines of that. But I mean, come on, you can't with all the new technology and stuff like that.
Well, they brought some 90s elements in there too. With that last movie, Age of Extinction, they brought in the Dinobots, which were from the Beast Wars line of. It was a cartoon, almost a CGI cartoon in the 90s. So. They're trying to, build the universe bigger. There's signed on for 8 movies total. So 4 more movies. There's a writers' room
a lot more than that.
of a lot of major writers in Hollywood that got together to sculpt how the story will go. Apparently, one of the future movies should be going to Cybertron.
Yeah,
Cybertron 1.
Because I figured it out because I mean the first film, we've already had 4 movies.
Yeah.
1 in America, 1 in Egypt, then China. So now where are you going to go? I mean, Arctic. But they got to start bringing it to Cybertron, like you said.
Yeah, I mean.
So I'm excited to see what they are going to you know.
I like the movies. You know what? I thought Age of Extinction. I thought it was the best one since the first one. Now, the complaints people have is that the plots kind of do drag. Like, yeah, it's a lot of action, but it's almost like over excessive and a reliance on it. Where, like, you know, it's like, all right, your heroes are in peril, and then they come back, but then they're back in peril again, and then they come back, and then they're back in peril again. And it's like, okay, did the movie have to be 3 hours long? For me, I'm an action guy. Like, I'm just like you. I'm a huge action movie buff. Like, I study action movies going back to, like, 1938, Adventures of Robin Hood. You know, like early James Bond movies, things like that. So, yeah, you give me action, I'm satisfied. But I see what the complaints are. I do. But Mark Wahlberg's a good addition. I think he totally beats out Shia LaBeouf. So, he's one of my favorite stars, period. So,
absolutely.
The franchise has huge potential.
For sure. Yeah, Rob, you keep mentioning Age of Extinction. That's my favorite one. I'm gonna bring it up. I was gonna bring it up. I feel like they combined the first three. What was good about the first one? It was, you know, origin basically. The first one, obviously. Second one had the best fights by far. Age of Extinction was pretty close. And the third one, the best thing that brought was Chicago. The whole 40-minute final battle. That was kind of like the China battle in Age of Extinction.
Right.
That was the best one. So like they combined the best elements. People complain about the first three. Too much Shia. Too much humans. There are too many humans.
Which I agree with.
Too much stuff like that. Like, yeah, okay. Those are pretty good complaints or whatever. They fixed all those in the fourth one. There's no Shia.
They did because
a lot more Autobot focused, and then they still complain. You can't win.
You can't complain with that because what they showed in the Age of Extinction now is that we see a different side of Optimus having more feelings of anger and stuff.
Yeah, the Optimus in this movie,
and brings in more of the
he brought the hurt.
Brought in more
Autobots
human
like
elements to the Transformers,
then,
which is like
exactly what
that's
you
what
want.
you're looking for.
I love that about that.
My favorite scene, probably in Age of Extinction, Ratchet's death scene. Like the first three, they had Ironhide died. He was kind of just whatever. Jazz died.
Oh no, I cried. No, I didn't.
No, I mean the way that was done though. Like Ironhide's my second favorite Autobot, but like the way he died was kind of weak. But
You're
Ratchet
right.
Comes
it was
in,
quick. It was snappy.
Comes in. They had a KSI Cemetery Wind was killing them. That was the best scene pretty much in the movie, I think.
Yeah.
If you could feel a robot dying. Yeah, it can be emotionally heart-wrenching. They did something. They touched a nerve. Because I remember that scene.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know who every Transformer is. Sometimes it's hard to keep track in these movies because some of them look similar. Yeah. When that happened, man, I felt it. So, I mean, they did something right, man.
And the thing I like about the series, like, this series is a reflection of me. It's completely misunderstood. Most people don't understand me, all right? But they dominate the competition. Have you seen the box office numbers? You wonder why there's 4 movies, people. Money. This right here.
Globally.
This right here. That's
globally too.
Yeah, global money.
Globally too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, and that's why they brought in the writers' room. They're making basically a movie a year starting in 2017. They're doing it for the money. People want to see it. Most people, the people who complain are the loudest ones, obviously. But most people, they enjoy it. They go see it. They want to pay money. I go to the movies. I want to use this. I want to use this and pay for Transformers movies. That's why I go see it.
I pre-order them.
That's
the tickets. So it
pre-order.
always comes out around my birthday, so I do that every year when it comes out.
If you're a Transformers fan like us, but nobody cares what we have to say. That is another thing. I don't care what other people say. This series doesn't care what other people say, the critics, whatever. So
it is hard, especially since they're so like Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, he's a great actor, but like then they took him out, and everyone's like,
well, he's a much better actor since he's been in those movies.
Yeah.
You know, just like you said, the box office receipts are there, which means that you're not the only one that feels that way. You know, I didn't see Age of Extinction in the theater, but when I saw it, like I think I saw it on Netflix, I was like, why didn't I go see this in the theater?
Yeah.
All right, one more question. Lots to look forward to for Transformers. What about favorite characters that haven't been in the movies yet? I'll talk about mine. What do you guys? Do you guys have any characters from the cartoon or anything?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, he's saying
not to be really weird, but
the Transformers character that hasn't been in the 4 movies yet.
Sonic the Hedgehog would be pretty cool.
Wouldn't it? If they made him anyway.
Like
you're talking about Transformers.
Transformers characters, obviously. I'm not talking
you know what? I don't know his name, but he was very popular back in the day as a toy. The one that was a cassette.
No, a Soundwave. He's been in there.
Oh, he has?
Yeah. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
He was 2 things.
Well, then he needs to be a cassette.
Soundwave was the
if they
satellite.
do the prequel,
cassette is this big, right?
If they do the prequel, he needs to be the cassette.
He could have. Well, he got killed in the 3rd one.
But prequel.
He's gone.
The prequel, we go back in time. He needs to be the cassette.
That's true. Yep.
All right. Ultra Magnus, though. Optimus Second Command. You guys know Ultra Magnus?
I don't. See, that's the thing. I don't know all the characters. Like,
well, I haven't really seen like the 80s cartoon and stuff, but you got an Ultra Magnus though.
Microbots. That's what they need to bring in. Microbots, the little tiny Transformers.
I know what they need.
Yes.
I know what I really want them to do It's kind of more character, but not really. But where they all combine into the Ultimate Optimus.
Oh,
Don't you
yeah.
agree? Wait, oh my God! Like that would be amazing. Like if because it
Kind of
always
like
shows.
Jetfire, right? In the second one, sort of.
Yeah, sort of, just like that. But like you know how one Autobot is the leg and the legs, and then there's the arms in Ultimate Optimus.
A lot of appendages.
That would make me so happy. And like if he just like totally destroyed everything.
Everything.
I would be satisfied. Like at least in the last movie, they have to do that.
All right, guys. My last point. This is the perfect time to bring in Ultra Magnus because Optimus, like you talked about before, he left Earth. They got to bring out an Ultra Magnus to kind of lead the Autobots when Optimus isn't there. So this is the perfect time to bring him in. And he's kind of like a strict kind of guy. As you can see, the Hound and everybody in Age of Extinction, they just kind of ran over the place and did whatever they want, kind of like little kids.
Yep.
Ultra Magnus would come in, he'd run like a military camp. I want to see that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That would be really cool.
All right, guys. Very good segment. Justin, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Always welcome to talk about Transformers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So we gotta go to commercial. So we'll see you guys after the commercial's done. Welcome back to the final segment of this special edition of Blockbuster Movie Minute with Rob Sweet.
Half hour.
Yeah, Blockbuster Movie half hour. You're right.
Let's get technical. Come on. You got all technical about Transformers. Let's get technical about everything. Come on.
All right, Rob. We gotta start off. This is the Marvel segment. We gotta start off with the Captain America trailer.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You got your first glimpse of Black Panther.
I was gonna mention that too. Black Panther.
You got some battle scenes. It looks like we might have a little foreshadowing of casualties in the war.
Yeah.
We see War Machine incapacitated and down.
Yeah.
You know how the comic goes, right?
What was War Machine?
No, in general. Your
A
boy,
little bit, yeah.
Cap gets capped,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm saying.
But again, I said it before. Movies, they're completely different. You can't really go by that. I think
They're not always completely
Cap is going to be in Infinity War, so I don't think Cap's going to die in this one.
That doesn't mean he's not going to die. What happens in comic books?
Well, you mean because
they die,
Bucky
they come back.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
the
that's
first guy to
another
prove
thing.
it was this guy right here, Soups. He was killed by Doomsday, and then he came back.
Yeah,
And then it became a trend after that. Nobody ever truly dies.
that's why in these movies it's pointless to kill somebody off.
He's only
It
signed
doesn't
on for
matter.
one more movie after Civil War, by the way. There's 2 Avengers Infinity Wars.
Well, I think they're counting that as one though.
No, they're not.
You sure?
They're separate films.
They are separate
in the
films,
Contracts.
but I
in the
think-
contracts, they're separate films. Now, that begs the question. Does he die in this one? He remains out of the first Infinity Wars and then comes back for the second when they combine all the Avengers teams? Think about
Lots to
that
look
for a
forward to.
second, kid.
But yeah, like you said, the 2 biggest things that I took away from the trailer: Black Panther, as we mentioned, he's getting his own movie coming in. He looks freaking amazing in the trailer. And then also William Hurt is back, General Ross, Thunderbolt Ross from Incredible Hulk.
Sure.
That's
cool, but I'm okay.
Connecting more of this.
Spider-Man's going to be in there somewhere.
Trust me, I'm getting to Spider-Man. We'll get to that. That's why I brought the shirt in here.
So let's get to it. Let's talk it. Spider-Man's
Hold
going
on,
to be in it.
I have
Tom
a
Holland.
schedule here, Rob. We got to stick to the schedule.
Okay, so move on with the schedule.
All right, we got the rest of the Phase 3. A couple years ago, they came out with a Phase 2 schedule. They got 9 movies. Then Spider-Man comes in, like you said, 10 movies. Now Ant-Man and the Wasp comes in, 11 movies. Everything gets altered, 3 movies a year. That's tons of stuff to look forward to.
On top of the other franchises, on top of Fox's franchises, on top of like everything, like DC. Hello, like it's awesome. I mean, it's awesome, and like you see all these little side movies. Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, like they weren't big franchises, and now they're huge franchises because they pay attention. They make good narrative films out of it. It's not just oh, there's oversaturation of comic book movies, so there's going to be a whole bunch of plethora of crappy ones. No, it doesn't mean that because these big-time directors are actually putting careful care into molding these into films that not only comic book fans will enjoy, but new fans can enter in on.
All right, I was going to go through each movie, but we're not going to do that. But we got to go through Infinity War. We already mentioned it. For those of you that don't know, Infinity War, Thanos comes in, the big bad of Marvel Universe. 6 Infinity Stones. You've seen 4 of them already. Power Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy. Mind Stone is now with Vision. It used to be Loki's scepter.
Well, it's been confirmed in the Marvel Universe that there are 2 gauntlets.
There are 2 gauntlets, yeah. Thanos has one. But then the Reality Stone was the Ether in Thor: The Dark World. Space Stone is the Tesseract. That's probably the most well-known one because it was the main thing in Avengers. Haven't seen the Time of the Soul Stone yet. But you want to talk a little bit about Infinity War? 2 parts? Big.
You know what, man? It's just, to me, it looks like it's going to be the whole Marvel Universe getting together having to battle Thanos. You're going to see way more destruction than probably the first two Avengers movies combined. It's going to be epic. And are they only a year apart from each other?
Yeah,
in
18
release
and
dates?
19.
Yeah, so I mean, at least they're filming them together, and we're not going to have to wait years like we do in between the Avengers movies. What else is there to say? Like, it's just I'm salivating at the mouth. Maybe, who knows even what's going to happen if they pick up these other franchises before then, and insert them in. All of a sudden,
Possibilities are endless for sure.
Yeah, all of a sudden Reed Richards is in the battle as well. I mean, you never know. You
Yes.
never know. It's like an infinity of possibilities, and on top of the Infinity Wars, my mind's blowing.
Yeah, so because of all this Infinity War stuff, everything after Captain America Civil War, the two teams fighting each other. First of all, let's go through the teams of Captain America Civil War. All right, Captain America, he has a team. Captain America, Bucky, Falcon, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and Sharon Carter. You've seen the concept art, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But then Iron Man. You've got Iron Man, War Machine, Black Panther, Black Widow, and Vision. That's the squad right
That's
there.
the team
That's
right
the
there.
squad right
That's
there.
the team right there.
That is-
Plus, they got Vision, who has one of the stones inside of him.
Yeah. They're going to have to go easy on Cap's team. Cap, I mean, I know Cap's strong and everything. They got no shot.
Yeah, I mean, who are they thinking about? That's why
Yeah.
Captain's gonna die.
Just Vision himself could pretty much take on the whole team.
Captain America's gonna die.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
So, yeah.
Rest in peace.
But after Captain America Civil War, they're going to have to, like you said, they're going to have to combine. Thanos comes in. They got a greater force of evil they got to combine against. So, especially if he gets all the Infinity Stones. I feel he's going to get 5 of them. They need to come in looking for Vision to get the 6th one.
Here's this thought too. I'm gonna throw at you. Thor. What is it? Thor
Ragnarok. With Bruce Banner making an appearance in that.
Hello, it's supposed to be Thor versus Hulk.
And then they're going to need Thor and Hulk to team up to take on Ragnarok. Take on
Thor
the whole thing,
versus
the whole
Hulk.
event. We saw a little bit of that in Avengers. But
Unbelievable.
we're finally going to answer who'd win in a fight, Thor versus Hulk.
Well, Thor's gonna win. It's a Thor movie.
Yeah, for sure. But you already mentioned it, Rob. The big thing we got to end the show on, Spider-Man.
Yes.
The face of Marvel. Came out, Tobey Maguire, 2002.
It did.
I love the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
Spider-Man,
never able to...
Well, the third one.
Yeah, well,
It was alright.
yeah.
Mm.
But
I'm being
he was
generous.
never able to come in with the Avengers. Now, 2016, he's making his debut. But I'm speechless right now. I can't even...
As long as we don't get that rehashed, story
Yeah,
that we
we're
get
not-
in
yeah, we're not
all
getting
the
rehashed.
origin stories. Like,
Yeah.
let's skip on past. Let's have them already be in existence, and then let's get down to the
Oh, like-
nitty gritty. Let's get some more villains
Yeah.
in there. Let's get to what makes Peter Parker cool. I mean,
Yeah, the cast of villains Spider-Man has that now could be with fighting other superheroes
Yeah.
like Iron Man and everything.
Yeah.
Like guys like Scorpion and Carnage, you gotta see them in the movie.
yeah.
Like, and the thing for me,
Carnage for sure. Maximum Carnage
Yeah.
storyline is the one thing we've been
Yeah.
missing out on. Like, they got to do Venom right, and then they have to do a Maximum Carnage
Yeah.
story, because Venom's vital to that story. So,
but for me,
Well,
Spider-Man, I know he's the face of Marvel, but for me personally, he's what got me started on Marvel. I saw the Tobey Maguire movie 2002. Everything since then, all the Marvel video games, cartoons, TV shows, everything, it's all because of Spider-Man. So
everything.
now everything, all the Avengers, everything. Avengers was the best night of my life when it came out, May 3rd, May 4th, 2012. It's all because of Spider-Man. When the credits came, when the
That's the
opening
best day of
credits
your
came,
life?
pretty much.
Wow.
They-
Well, in 14 days, the best day of my life is probably going to happen with Star Wars Episode 7.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
Like even
kind of feel you. on
Avengers
that.
opening credits came out, the Marvel crawl of the comic books. I was thinking about Spider-Man, how he got me to that point. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Well, yeah, my first few issues of Marvel were Superman got me into the comics, Death of Superman, but then X-Men and Spider-Man. I remember I had Spectacular Spider-Man issue 200 where Green Goblin gets killed. Like, those are the two entry points for Marvel for me. So
Yeah.
I feel you, man. Like,
Yeah, I was even Spider-Man for Halloween in first grade. I remember that was my favorite costume.
oh man, yeah,
Yeah,
your parents
it's
are just trying to hide your face. Let's face it. But,
No, why would you hide all this?
I know, right? We're identical
I know, we're identical
twins.
twins,
What am I
remember?
knocking
Remember?
on you for?
Yeah.
Do it. Oh, it's magic. It's magic.
All right, Rob. That's all the time we have for today. I know this is your last semester, so we had to get this show done. It's been a lot of fun working with you.
It's been a blast, man. And this is actually my official last CTV broadcast. I know I said on Commotion that it was, but this is it right here. And
Yeah.
you got the honor and privilege
And
to have.
I gotta say, you inspired me, Rob.
Have you?
I've been on the weight loss thing, as you know. I wanted to look like my idol, Rob Sweet. That's how it all started. I had to look like my idol.
Sucks, man, and he's doing a good job. Look at you dwindle away anymore. We're not gonna be able to fit in that Captain America T-shirt.
I'm gonna need a kid size or something.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that.
But
one
all right, Rob, thanks for joining us. Anytime you want to do another show after you graduate, I'm all for it. A lot to look forward to, like you said, for Marvel. We'll be texting each other for Civil War and everything that comes out.
Oh yeah.
But thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you later. We good? All right, quiet, set.
Cody and John, we've already said this.
We called it.
It didn't come down yet. It slanted a little bit. Come on, Optimus, I believe in you.
All right, we're good.
I know we went over, but I had to. I know.
I said wrap up and then just like, let's introduce a new topic.
I had to mention a couple things. I couldn't. Just make the Marvel 8 minutes, and then we'll see. Like stupid though.
I don't know, man.
They would have to plan it really well. A Sonic the Hedgehog.
This shows made me wish I was in that.
You talking about a Sonic, its own movie?
Yeah.
Why would I be asking? I'm talking about Transformers.
I didn't know if you were still on them.
I went on a tangent. I had to keep going.
Avengers, and because I know more Avengers.
You should have cut. Nobody knew what the hell you were talking about. You'll be entertaining.